Shefsky here, and welcome to Fantasy House. Every week, I have a different special guest, and they give us an imaginary tour that is thrilling, hilarious, and just so much fun. They give us an imaginary tour of their fake fantasy house that's super personal. I love it. I have a great time. It's like, I would say it's like MTV Cribs in a Rick and Morty Adventure Time universe. It's like HGTV if it was like really colorful, and NSFW, which, by the way, this is the world's only NSFW real estate podcast, and we're proud of it. You need to have that in this world. That's a niche that we had to fill. This podcast is brought to you by me, Jon Shefsky, your Southern California real estate agent. I'm not just a fantasy realtor. I'm a really real realtor, okay? So if you want to talk about buying houses, selling houses, multifamily investment properties, any of that stuff, hit me up. It's free to chat with me. I'm not a lawyer. I can consult with you for absolute freeness, as long as you're fun to talk to. And you can go on my Instagram, JONSHEFSKY. Why not? This episode's going to be a great time. I'm really excited. My friend is here. He's an award-winning filmmaker, and he's such a great dude. And this is just, it's exciting. I can't wait to hear what he's come up with for his fantasy house. Michael Driscoll is here. Yay! Now, in the words of the great Angelo Bowers, let us do this!
Won't you take it?
Michael Driscoll. I'm not from round here.
Are you trying to seduce my audience?
Yeah, so that I can get out of these... Like, this is my only way to sound witty, is just by basically milking my accent. Oh, shit.
You're going deep into your accent right now?
Yes.
We're on stage. He's on, folks.
I'm going to sound more and more like Olivier by the end of this.
Beautiful.
Yeah, just without all the alcohol and...
I'm sad with my accent. I'm like, where's my accent? I don't even know what it is, man.
Oh dear.
That's beautiful. Yeah, I can't. If I say "oh dear," I sound like that old thing from the Apple computer. Oh dear.
Well, you know, like I can actually hear the feedback now, so I'm actually quite comfortable. But usually, like when I'm on the phone, when I call someone on the phone, or if I leave a voicemail with someone, and I hear my voice. Like, I hear my phone voice.
Yeah.
My phone voice kind of sounds like a 12-year-old girl with laryngitis. And it's a real thing. Like, it gives me anxiety when I talk on the phone to people.
But what's the anxiety focused on? Like, you're worried about what they're going to think?
Yeah. I'm like, oh my God, I sound like a 12-year-old girl with laryngitis.
It's just like body image, body image, dude. You got a beautiful voice. Embrace it. Yeah, it is a 12-year-old girl with laryngitis that just took a bong rip. But guess what? She's got a beautiful voice.
A voice for radio.
It's a voice for radio. Oh, that's like, you just complimented yourself. You have a voice for radio.
No, you're supposed to say a face for radio. Yeah, that's what you're supposed to say. Oh, man, you got a face for radio.
You got a voice for television, man. Maybe you should just act with your face. If someone has a bad voice.
Oh, dear.
Oh, dear.
Oh, dear.
Oh, dear.
I feel like I'm going to say that a lot.
You just won an award for one of your films.
Yeah. On Monday, one of my films was screening at the Golden State Film Festival in Hollywood at the Chinese Theatre.
Yeah.
Which was awesome. Screening went down really, really well. And then they had the award ceremony on Monday, and they were like, I get this email. I was in the office, and I get this email like about midday, and they were like, "Dear Michael," this is how the email sounded.
It's all serious.
"Dear Michael."
Yeah, read it in that voice.
"Dear Michael," it said,
if you're reading this.
No, it literally said, "If you are receiving this email, then we highly suggest you come to the awards ceremony tonight, ... I was like, whoa.
You could tell
I gotta go.
Oh.
I mean, I was going to go anyway, but I was sort of like, yeah, I might go. Like, you know, do the classic flake out of my own thing.
Totally.
And then I was like, well, I guess I got to go. So I told my producer who I was with, I was like, dude, can I just show you my laptop? And he was like, why? And then I showed him the email, and he was like, okay, what time do you need to leave?
He knew.
I was like, bro, thanks, bro. And I was like, I need to leave at the latest at 7. And he made me leave like 7:01. I'm like, bro. Anyway, I'm really drawing this out long, aren't I?
It's okay.
Sorry.
It's been like 3 minutes. They want you to
yeah,
you're edging them.
We
on your
won.
story.
Yeah, we won a nice award. It was very cool and very nice, and
What
really
award?
good festival. It was best production design.
And what does that feel like to go, like, accept that?
A bit of a shock, especially as I was getting 2 drinks at the time I was announced.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, it's the production design category. So I was like, all right, I'll just go and get us a drink. Yeah.
Oh, so you didn't know it was in that category?
No, I didn't know. I didn't know anything. Yeah, and like, and then I heard my name, and I just sort of like dropped the drinks, and then ran up on the stage, and there was like, yeah, thanks, bruv, yeah, and then posed for some pictures, and that was it. Robert's your father's brother. I was done.
What was the name of the film?
To the Boats.
Is it something that people can see, or do you have to?
Well, right now it's doing its festival circuit run, so we.
What does that mean for people like that are not film aficionados? They're like, okay, what do you mean festival circuit?
Oh yeah, good point.
Electronics? Huh?
Okay, yeah, you're right. Sorry. I'm British. I'm very sorry for everything, especially Brexit.
That'd be a great T-shirt. Sorry for Brexit.
I'd buy it.
Isn't it funny how you guys have that guy looks just like Boris? Or is it Boris? Boris
Johnson.
He looks just like Trump. Isn't it funny?
He looks like Trump's love child with like Humpty Dumpty.
Dude, it's too weird. For the Illuminati conspiracy people, I'm like, I can imagine them being at their computers be like, oh my God, they're cloning all these crazy leaders. It's so weird. Okay, go on. Sorry.
Wait, what were we talking about?
We were talking about...
so film festivals, so right, basically,
what the circuit is.
It's independent film, right? Okay. We made it totally independently. So after that, the film basically has a 2-year run in film festivals worldwide. And, we go from one to the next, to the next, to the next. And then with the intention of getting distribution afterwards. So at the moment... There's no way anyone can see it until it's in the next festival, which we don't really know yet. I think there's one in Marina del Rey, which will be in June for anyone local who wants to come and see it. That'd be great. But yeah, so at the moment, it's just very much in its festival run, so I can't really...
Are you at peace with when things take that long to... Because everything in film... is to me has always been frustrating where it's like, wait, how long am I supposed to wait? What if I'm not even alive then? Like 2 weeks, 2 years.
Yeah. Well, you know what? When I first moved to this town, mate, the best is true. Like, I'm not kidding. One of my old producers told me the best bit of advice, and it was the quickest bit. So I'm not even going to take 3 minutes to say this. Well, I probably will if I stretch it out. But he said to me, in this town, you've got to be 5 minutes more patient than the next guy.
Totally.
And so I was like, what? What the fuck does that mean? And
5 minutes later, you're like, I think I get it.
The guy next to me was like, huh? No.
I've been here for 10 minutes. What does he mean?
Oh, no. No, I think that, you just basically learn to be patient with the projects. I mean, luckily, I have a few, so each one is in its different sort of stages. Like, one got distribution. We're going through that right now. So, so you just sort of, it's part of and parcel of being an independent filmmaker.
And you do love it.
Last time I checked.
What got you? Okay, tell us. I guess give our listeners a little bit of a bio, like where you started, at what age, your passion.
Oh my God! Well, I'm a pure product of nepotism. My father was in the industry for a good long time, and he doesn't even talk like this. I don't even know why I'm doing that.
You have to keep talking like that, please.
No, my dad worked in the industry for 50 odd years.
50 years?
Yeah, something like that. And my granddad before him, my uncle was a stint in the industry, and my cousin is still in the industry. So it's sort of like a family thing. And, back in the UK and Ireland. So, we, it was my life growing up, going to set. They all work in art department, all of them. And my life growing up was like going to set when it was school holidays or whatever, and like going around the art department, the offices, and like seeing the sets being built pre-light, before the pre-light, which was like great. And like he was on some big films and stuff, so it was always like really, really fun. And then on top of that, we got to travel. So, living internationally whilst Dad was on a film, because it was the glory years. I'm not going to say when, because it will probably reveal my age.
We're not allowed to do that. You're so Hollywood.
Yeah.
How many 5-minute cycles have you been alive for?
Oh, that's good. Write that down. So it was really good. So that's sort of how I got started. And then eventually my dad hired me as his assistant for a few years, worked on a couple of nice big projects like Batman and Harry Potter.
Oh, wow.
And I was on Casino Royale, Golden Compass, a few films actually. And then I ended up going into production because, I wanted to be a production designer. My dad wanted me to be a production designer. But then I sort of was really interested in directing, and he didn't want me to be a director at the time.
Why didn't he want you to be a director?
Because he was just like, I think that, if you're in the art department, it's a design perspective, and a draftsman sort of perspective. And he didn't understand directors. So he was just like, well, I can't help you there. And I'm like, yeah, but Dad, I just want to make some stuff. But I didn't really talk too much about it, because when I went to film school and stuff, that's when I sort of decided myself, this is way more interesting. And also the art department changed by the time I got there. There was a lot more visual effects, and there was a lot more green screen and less sort of classic set design. It was getting smaller and smaller. So the art departments were getting smaller and smaller, hence more competitive. So for assistants trying to be draftsmen, it was a tough slog, and I didn't really have the patience or the attitude for it because I was a little shite. So, and
it's hard to be for something in film, if you truly don't want to do it, to go through what it takes. Like you were saying, it's getting competitive. And it's I don't really want to be in the art department, and man, I really got to give it my all to do it. It's that's a really hard combo.
Yeah.
Right.
And of course, it just sort of happened systematically for me, I suppose. But I understood art department from a very high level, just being working with Dad and all of his colleagues and stuff, and getting to know them. So on these big movies and stuff, which was obviously, a great privilege. I'm not taking that for granted. But then when I wanted to get into art department, I would do sort of lower end stuff, and I ended up working. When I finally got the chance to sort of start art directing, it was sort of commercials and music videos and stuff. And it just felt like it wasn't for me anymore. I think I wouldn't say the term I outgrew it. I don't think that's right. But I just thought, I think I don't want to do it. I ended up getting a job in a production company in London, and I worked there for years. I was an assistant to a couple of high-level directors, and sort of decided I wanted to direct. And then a job came to me, and we did it through the production company, and then I did 4 jobs for them, and then I moved into TV, which was a funny story.
Yeah, tell us. Because my next question was going to be so when you did find what you loved,
right?
How did it work out? So there you go.
All right, good segue.
Yeah, right,
mate. I wrote all of this down,
and me too. Just sitting here being well, that's exactly where I was going to go with it. So I guess we agree to agree,
mate. This is going so well. So
this is scripted, just so you listeners know.
It's so scripted. My name's not even Michael.
Yeah, this isn't John.
Yeah, and I'm not even British.
It's Albamani. I'm here to take John's place.
What happened? Oh, yeah. So, at the time, I had an ex-girlfriend who was my assistant when I started directing, and then she became my producer at this production company, RSA Films in London, which is Ridley Scott's company. And she got offered a TV show to be an assistant to one of the producers, and I was like, "Oh, you go in then." Bye. No,
all dramatic.
Yeah. Well, it was sad.
You made your choice.
It was sad at the time because it was in Prague, in the Czech Republic.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn. All right. Well, yeah, you do you. No, I wasn't. It was really exciting for her, and obviously going into narrative, TV production, Netflix show, Canal Plus, and ZDF, which was the German company, and high level showrunner, fantastic guy. His name's Tom Fontana. He did a bunch of huge shows. And she got a job there, in pre-production. And every weekend, I would fly from London to Prague to go and see her. I mean, I know that sounds glamorous, but it was just very cheap flight.
Yeah, it's like I was going to Vegas from here.
Yeah, well, pretty much.
Right?
Actually,
Southwest, $60.
Sort of, yeah, about that. Well, so I'd go see her every weekend, and before I knew it, I started meeting production manager, production supervisor, the line producer, and then eventually some of the exec producers. And I was just there every weekend, and I'd be having dinners with them. And then eventually they were like, "What are you actually doing?" Yeah. And I'm like, "I'm just here to see her." And they were like, "Oh, like, what do you do?" And I was like, "Well, actually, I'm a director." And they said, "Okay, well, send us your stuff." So I sent it, and then eventually I got offered a job on the show as doing the behind the scenes. So it's kind of like, to be honest, like a little step back.
Yeah.
But I thought, you know what? I want to get into narrative. I want to be with her. I want to be on this project. It was absolutely amazing. I started by doing behind the scenes stuff, and it was like, you know, really, really fun being close to the actors, being close to set, being in Video Village, being really, really close to the directors and everything. And then after that, they eventually offered me like camera work, because it's Prague and it's non-union, and it was like, "Yeah, do you want to shoot some stuff?" And I was like, "Bro, I'll shoot some stuff." And then I would look at the footage and be like, "What the hell is this? This isn't commercials, bruh." No, and then I shot some scenes, and then after that, I ended up getting offered second unit directing. And for the rest of the show, I did 26 episodes, second unit directing.
And this happened in how long of a time span? Did you basically graduate from those meals when they're like, "What are you doing?" to like, "Yeah, I've actually worked my way into like places that I want to work."
Yeah.
So like a year or 6 months?
No. Oh, to the position where I was
doing second unit directing?
9 months.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
9.
awesome.
So it was during the first season. The show was called Borgia, which is a Netflix original, one of the first Netflix originals.
When they only had like 10 shows?
Yeah.
You know when Netflix only had 10 shows? Yeah. Keep up with it?
But it was great because I got to work with several different main unit directors. And obviously, shifting into narrative, working with brilliant scripts, brilliant writers, and the showrunner was just next level. And then after that, I mean, I carried on working on that show for a while, and then I worked on another show. I moved to Canada, did a show called The Transporter, which was fun in the sense that we were dealing with, you know, HBO and big companies. But then on top of that, I was shooting a lot of stunts, so car stunts, fight action sequences, martial arts, that sort of thing. And I would be getting, like, you know, the leads to work with, and then their stunt doubles, obviously. But and then I went back to Borgia season 2, and I got sort of pushed up a little bit, and then I would start shooting with some of the main cast, which was great. And then when the show finished, obviously got depressed because it was the best job ever.
The come down from that high?
Yeah.
What now? What next?
Yeah, and then I was just like, well, I want to do some stuff, so I started making independent films. And I guess that's where I am now.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Which is where we're at.
Yeah, and now I'm in a room somewhere in Burbank.
In God's independent film called Life.
Yeah.
I'm playing myself.
So that's that. Sorry, that was quite a long...
That was great.
Oh.
It was like a great BBC, like, not rushing through it interview.
Oh.
I felt...
Cool.
I was like...
I do waffle a bit.
What does waffle mean? To like...
It means, like, you know when you're like... You take forever to get to the point.
Oh, it's like wallowing, but waffling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
you're waffling. I like waffle.
You just sort of like get side around the point sort of thing. And
is that what they call waffling? Like you're going around the different squares?
People are like, get to the point, Mike.
But if you didn't waffle, like where would all the butter and honey go? You know what I mean? We need the waffle so that we can collect that butter and honey.
Or maple syrup.
Oh, yeah. Who eats honey on waffles?
Who puts honey on waffles?
See,
where are we?
I'm Jon Shefsky, your weird realtor. I'm the guy who puts honey on waffles and syrup on my biscuits.
Ooh.
So, dude, that's rad, though. I that's so cool that you have that cool that story of going from... I don't know if you want to call it like the networking that you didn't even know was really going to happen when you're at dinner. And then people being like, what do you do? And you're like, I'm a director. And they're like, let's see your stuff. And then before you know it, you're like, within a year, 9 months, you said, which is basically like you birthed, your career into working.
Yeah, it was really cool. But then I had support from some of the actors on set who like really helped me out, and then they really vouched for me. And obviously I got on really well with the showrunner. I still do. He's a fantastic mentor and friend. It just sort of happened systematically. And then it's funny because things didn't work out with the girlfriend, but everything else sort of worked out fine. So it was just, I don't know. I guess that a lot of people in the industry, they just sort of fall into the designated bracket.
Yeah.
And I always wanted to do it, and I didn't know when I would get like a little break or whatever. And it just sort of happened when I least sort of expected it. Yeah, but you do need help on the way, obviously.
Oh, yeah. We all do.
Yeah.
Good Lord. I don't know where I would be in life, and I can't imagine anyone if you don't have help.
Absolutely.
Like, how do you get anything? Mentoring, people just giving you a shot at things.
Yeah.
I think Patton Oswalt had some sort of analogy where he was talking about someone leaving a subway hatch open or something like that for you to get through to the next level or whatever. And
that's cool. I've got to read that.
I think it's something like that. He said a subway hatch or a subway door or a submarine hatch. Honey on waffles. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But I get what you're saying, and I agree 100% about that. So if we're flying a drone over your fantasy house, where is it at? What are we looking at?
Catalina Island.
Okay. I know Catalina a little bit.
Yeah. What's the thing about Catalina Island?
Yeah.
Like parts of it look like the south coast of Italy.
Yeah.
Absolutely stunning.
It's pretty rad.
All right, we're picking there.
Okay. Catalina, we're there.
Yeah.
What does it look like? So we're flying a drone over. What's the house look like?
Well,
colors,
okay.
kind of
So here's my thing, right? I'm quite obsessed with with architecture.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
So
now that you said that, our listeners are like, all right.
Blow
my mind.
I'm going to get called out for being very historically accurately wrong here.
It's okay.
But I would pick a Georgian-style house.
Okay, a Georgian-style house. And describe that physically.
Okay, so Georgian-style houses, this is pre-Victorian, pre-Victorian era, when King George was on the throne.
Okay.
Definitely before Harry and Meghan.
They're not on the throne at all anymore,
No,
right?
Mexit.
Is that what they called it?
Mexit, yeah.
I don't have time to get into the what do you call it, the Us Weekly or even the news on that.
Yeah.
But I have found it interesting that's what's going on over there because they're just I just don't want the stress of it.
Yeah, the tensions are heightened because of Brexit. And so as soon as Harry and Meghan said, "Yo, we're doing one, we're out here," everyone's like, "What?"
I didn't even know you could do that.
Oh no, you can abdicate, of course.
Yeah.
King Albert abdicated, didn't he? And then
I didn't know that.
Elizabeth's father became king, the brother, and then King George.
Yeah.
And then he died, and then Elizabeth became queen. So he was the reluctant king, and she was the queen that was never meant to be.
I didn't know this.
And she's been on the throne for a very long time.
Yeah. Some say a lot longer. She's got 100 years left, folk, that she's taking her vitamins.
Oh yeah, no, we love Elizabeth. So keep her on the throne. Oh God,
is she good or what?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
I'm pro royal.
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't want. I mean, I know that Charles is next, and I would personally like to see Charles abdicate and let William take the throne. But I think Charles wants to be king.
I can't believe there still are kings and queens and all that stuff. It's so tricky.
Oh, yeah. Pretty soon we'll have to send them out on the front line.
Yeah, I'm like, you guys come on. Yeah. I think Rogan used to have a bit about that. That it was just being a queen in modern day. What are you doing in there, in that castle? What's up?
Yeah, what do they actually do?
No one voted for you. What are you doing? It's such a true. No offense if you're listening, queen. Good work.
Yeah, well, that'd be good if she
if she listened, that'd be rad.
Yeah. I'd probably get
you think
excommunicated?
I would hope she'd be like, I like his honesty. He'll get more work in the British film industry.
That's exactly how she sounds.
Right?
Yeah.
Did you ever see the Kids in the Hall movie? The drug is approved. It's Scott Thompson from Kids in the Hall dressed up as the Queen of England.
No.
Oh, it's great. You have to see it. You were up in Canada. You didn't watch the Kids in the Hall movie that whole time? Good.
Oh no.
Okay, so
all right.
So we're flying around your Georgian house.
It's a Georgian house. So imagine. So the Georgian period was very rich. Mm-hmm. Very lavish. So we would have very tall buildings with pointed roofs.
Yep.
Pre-Victorian, so you're looking at cast iron railings, gas lamp lights outside, big doorways, Roman colonnades, because they obviously wanted to, show their wealth and power.
Yep.
So, like, when you go to London now, you'll see a lot of Georgian architecture sort of on the west side of London, like Chelsea, Knightsbridge, Fulham, all of that area. Okay. Very, very expensive. So, and then don't forget, Georgian houses were so big because they would have their servants have their own living quarters in said house.
Okay.
And they would have dumbwaiters, and all sorts of contraptions. Usually the kitchen was in the basement, where they would have their servants make their food, which is exactly
from
what
below
I would
ground.
do. Yeah, exactly what I would do. This is pre-refrigeration, so that's the best place to keep the cold meats.
Nature's refrigerator underground.
Exactly.
It's cool.
And obviously in the Victorian stage, people didn't need their waiters anymore, their servants or their butlers living with them anymore, their maids. So,
how come?
I think because of austerity. The economy sort of started to change during the Victorian era, and so houses got a little bit smaller and a little bit. So, like, you'd have these bay windows in the Georgian sort of architecture, with arched window frames. And then they would take things like that into the Victorian stage. And then the Edwardian stage after that was when everything got much smaller, flatter roofs, flatter windows, all of that jazz.
So your favorite would be the Georgian style?
Yeah, let's go up, and it's like, let's just go all out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what color is the roof on your Georgian home?
Ooh. Well,
is there darker colors? I'm trying to imagine it in my head because I should know this. But
I'd go for a nice grey slate.
Okay. Yeah. Nice. Okay.
Yeah. A little modern touch.
Okay. Okay. So now we come to the front door. Me and the Fantasy House crew, right?
Front doors were large. In those days, massively wide. Sometimes double doors.
I love double doors. That's great.
Bruv.
Easy for when you have your piano moved in and out. You're like, don't you worry. There's enough doors here.
And a decent sized cat flap. I don't have cats.
Oh, a cat flap? You mean like the doggy door?
Yeah,
cat
for my dog. Yeah,
yeah, dude, that's great. Okay, so we get in. What's the show is like? Where are you going to take us first? We come to the front door. We're here. We're filming your spot.
Well, my live-in butler is going to greet you because I'm going to be too busy somewhere else in there. Obviously,
even for your Fantasy House day, I'm like, the butler's here. What's his or her name?
What's the name of the guy in The Shining that he meets in the bathroom? Because he looks like him.
Dude, okay. The guy from the bathroom in The Shining?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Man, I don't know. I don't remember his name, but that's...
And he's going to be as twisted and dark as that guy.
Nice and creepy. Thank you.
Yeah, super creepy. Because I like to intimidate my guests.
God, what does he say to him in The Shining in the bathroom that was so creepy?
He's like, didn't you kill them all?
He said something about killing, yeah.
And he's like, I think you're mistaken, sir. And he's like cleaning his shirt.
Yep.
Oh, it's dark.
Oh, God, that guy was so weird. God, that movie's such a trip. Okay.
Yeah.
So, did they just make a part 2 or something like that?
Yeah, Dr. Sleep. Yeah.
And McGregor. This is how much content is out there right now, Michael. I don't know if you noticed it.
It just sort of came and went, didn't it?
The biggest stuff, they'll just be like, that's already been made. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah. It came and went. And, apparently it's good. One of my mates, whose opinion I very much trust, occasionally, he said it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So
yeah, no one's talked about it.
How am I going to watch it? It's not in the cinemas anymore.
Is it Marvel? Did Apple make it? Then I don't know about it.
It's got to be on demand soon.
I got to see it. Dr. Sleep, because my wife also loves and has read The Shining. And
Shining's amazing.
So. Okay, yeah. Dr. Sleep, we're going to watch that. Okay, so look at all the movie homework you're giving us.
Oh, yeah.
We got to keep up with you for 2 freaking years, 24 months of following Michael around so we can watch his movie.
Shit.
Now we got to watch Dr. Sleep.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
Okay, so your butler is the butler from The Shining that sadly...
So imagine the Kubrick estate.
Okay.
This is what we're sort of going for in Terranea. Well, if it's going to look Georgian, it might look out of place amongst all of the sort of Catalina-style houses.
That's
but
okay,
however, here's one thing I noticed that I wanted to talk about. In LA, when you drive around places and streets and stuff, and every house on a street seems to be designed very fucking different to
That's what's so exciting.
It is exciting, but some of them are like, whoa. Like in the hills in Beechwood Canyon, there's a house designed like a fucking castle, and I think Moby bought it or something. So
I'm sure, yeah.
And it's like an actual...
It's an actual castle?
Stone castle.
Yeah.
Like, what? And then next to it is a craftsman.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for Brits, this is mad. This is madness.
There's that weird QB house, which it might be a Lloyd Wright house on Franklin, that you're just like, what is this?
Isn't
alien?
that the Black Dahlia house?
I think you're actually right.
It's the Black Dahlia house.
But I do love how there's like those weird...
It's great. I think it's fantastic about this sort of town because it's like, yeah, you can make it in America and you can build whatever you want.
Have your own little wonderland right here.
Yeah.
And the next door?
But like...
That way.
In the UK...
Wait, what? Dark and Weird? Oh, Wonderland?
Yeah.
Is that Michael Jackson's place? Or is
that's Neverland.
Wonderland's the place...
Isn't that where...
Is that where John Holmes murder? The porn star with the giant penis and the giant problem. Giant list of problems.
More penis, more problems.
Well, that's what they say. More penis, more penis, more penis.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, but that aspect... Well, to me,
it's normal over here.
I was wide-eyed for it because I grew up in the Edward Scissorhands suburbs where every house looks exactly the same.
Right. Same where I grew up.
Right.
So, like, okay, let's just, like I was saying, like, this specific neighborhood would be a lot of terraced houses, Edwardian sort of style, very packed close together, and all of them look the same.
Yeah.
Like where my mum and dad live now in London, north of London, it's a lot of detached houses, but they all more or less look similar sort of style. Like, a lot of houses built in the 50s and 60s and stuff. So when you come here and you're like, oh my God, look at that house. Oh my God, look at that house. And they're just completely different. So my point is, like, if we're going to be in Catalina and everything looks like the south coast of Italy, except for my house, which is going to stick out like a sore thumb because it's going to look Georgian and, kind of British, but then it's okay because this is Los Angeles and we can do what the fuck we want.
That's right. And it's fantasy world.
Yeah. Does this mean I can also have like really loud music? Does this mean that my neighbors cannot be pissed off with me?
That unless you wanted them for your fantasy, if you needed that tension.
Oh, if you need that. Right.
But if you don't need...
Because, maybe that's a good point. Write that down. Yeah.
Mental note. Okay, so let's go over...
I need some antagonists in this story.
I know. Listen, I will be your whipping boy. You can criticize me or throw me under the bus anytime you need. That's my service to you as my guest. Give us a list of what you're gonna what rooms you're gonna show us so we can. Our listeners
okay.
know,
So so we're gonna walk in and there's gonna be like like the entrance, like the lobby, the galley, let's say, and a beautiful like ornate white marble staircase with little black flecks, and then going all the way up and curving round to the right. Mm-hmm. I don't know why to the right.
Yep.
Because this is a forced perspective, so it will make it look bigger on camera.
Okay.
Oh wait, are we shooting this or just talking about it?
Folks, he's a filmmaker. He's not on set, but he's thinking. He's thinking like he is.
To make it sound bigger. Story of my life.
No penis, no penis, no penis.
No. So that's our thing. I'm thinking 3 main floors, and then a secret 4th. But then don't forget, we've got the basement where we're going to put all of the butlers to make our food.
Okay, so the butlers are in the basement making food.
Yeah, we've got the show kitchen and then the real kitchen.
Okay, which one? Take us to the show kitchen.
The show kitchen is basically me pretending to know how to cook.
Do you pretend like you cook and then you turn around to the dumbwaiter like, and I made this?
Yeah, exactly. Or what we're going to do is we're going to put like an actual button, but not like a touch screen. It's going to be like one of those actual plastic push buttons, with the little light on it, like on pinball machines.
Totally.
Which has the Uber Eats logo. So I just press that and then Uber Eats will arrive. That's my shortcut for Uber Eats.
What would we be eating if you press that button while we're filming your episode at your crazy fantasy house?
I've got to figure that out actually. So what you would actually order and where you would put in your order, and also who's paying for it, which expense.
Even in your fantasy world, you're like, I don't need any fantasy debt.
Yeah. Well, also like with Uber Eats, they're like, oh, this is a service charge, and you're like, dude,
it's crazy how expensive it gets so fast.
They just add on like double.
They have hijacked like food. I'm so sad that all the independent food places don't hire drivers anymore because Uber Eats and was it Grubhub take care of that. But then Grubhub charges, like my wife and I order some like cheap Thai food. We're like, how's it $60? We got a couple little things. Yeah. Like it used to be like a few $5 to pay the delivery driver. Yeah. And then the price of whatever the food was.
But now, Postmates is coming back with like deals.
Are they?
Apparently. I just saw a little voucher. I should have picked it up. I didn't even pick it up. Damn. Anyway, so we've got an Uber Eats button in the show kitchen, right? And also, so the show kitchen is basically for me to impress my guests, to pretend like we'll have that Wolf-style refrigerators, those massive ones, like the size of this room.
Yep.
This is a big room. And we'll have like the big Aga. A big Aga, really nice, but like a modern one. So like we're talking brushed steel and black. Yeah. Obviously it's not hooked up to the real gas because you can't trust me with that. So it's just literally a set. Yeah. But no partition walls, it's real, but it's just not hooked up.
Yeah.
And the only thing that's going... Oh, you know what? I went to a producer's house in Prague and he...
Show off.
I don't know how much I can talk... Well...
Just don't give us his or her name.
I won't. He bought Beethoven's old apartment in Prague.
Wow.
Like legit. And the apartment that Beethoven had when he lived there, or when he was staying there or whatever, was very, very small. So what this producer did, the size of the
Don't tell me he remodeled Beethoven's apartment.
No. Well, no. It was once owned by him a very, very long time ago. Yeah. And it had all been renovated or whatever. It was just a giant space when said producer bought this place. And so the size of the apartment in really was basically a bedroom and a bathroom. That's what he converted that area into. Yeah. So what he did was he bought the entire floor and turned it into this enormous, beautiful apartment, keeping the original furnishings and everything, all the decorations and everything, because like Prague, with sort of a Baroque and New Romantic ornate ceiling styles and pieces and massive fireplaces, like you wouldn't believe. So he did that. But it gave me a lot of inspiration. So in the kitchen, he had a spit for like roasting chickens. Yeah. Built into the wall. Like it's actually in the wall. It would sort of look like a monitor turned vertically. Yeah. And then you'd press it and it would have this sort of like beautiful sort of like air release that opened up and you would see this spits like there. And he never freaking used it. Of course he
flush in the wall. Of course he didn't.
In the wall. And then it was all lit up like, wow. So for my show kitchen, we'd have one of those. And the only working thing in there is going to be an espresso machine because I drink a lot of coffee.
How much do you drink?
Oh my God.
Tell me.
Well, I've had like...
Don't be shy.
4 today.
Really? 4 espressos?
No, I had like full cups today, but I love espresso.
Yeah, okay.
I love espresso. Dude, I used to live in Italy, bro.
Yeah.
Dude.
So if you don't drink your coffee, do you get a headache and feel like crap for the day? Like, is it a 7-day-a-week thing?
Oh, I got to have some coffee, yeah. Like if I'm working, like if you're on set, man, you are knocking back those espressos, like bang, bang, bang.
That's when I let myself go free and drink as much coffee as I want. It's like, I've been up since 4, lots going on.
And like it might be a very long day, especially with my terrible shooting schedule. And techniques.
You're gonna need that coffee, fellas.
Where everyone else is. Where I try and keep everything together. No, I do love coffee. I try and I can't have it past 5 p.m. But if I'm writing, for example, if I'm scheduling writing or whatever, or like working in development for anything, pitching, let's say, pitching and bitching, I like to say.
Pitching and bitching.
I will be like, right, got to get up, have a coffee, go for a walk, go to the coffee shop, clear my head. Oh, also, so in this fantasy house, we will have a coffee shop within walking distance. Okay. And a taco shop.
Yeah. A taco shop and a coffee shop in walking distance.
Within walking distance. Because... I
love that you didn't put it inside your house. Because people will be like,
this isn't Richie Rich. Do you remember in Richie Rich, he had a McDonald's in his house?
Dude, my buddy Daniel has a Jewish deli in his New York fantasy house, and he had a bagel shop, and he said there were like old Jewish guys arguing in the shop. So anytime he wants, he can go.
Oh, man.
So I was like, when you're saying you're going to have a taco shop, like, is it going to be inside your house? And you're like, it's in walking distance. I'm like, that sounds healthy.
Because I got to get my exercise.
Yeah, no, that sounds healthy.
I got to get out. Because like these super rich peeps who never leave their homes.
You go insane. It's There Will Be Blood. You end up having a shooting range in your hallway.
We could put one of those in there.
Yay!
But no, because I'm not for all the guns, guys. I'm British, so what we'll do is it's going to be knife throwing. Because I'm from London, and we love a good stab in London.
You do love a good stabbing.
We love a good stabbing. Good shanking.
Is there a knife thrown like a target thing? Or are there like pumpkins we throw them at? Or some squash? Like what are we throwing the knives at?
Pictures of ex-girlfriends.
That is brutal and terrifying, but you know what? I've had 7 espressos since I've been in your fantasy house. Let's throw some knives.
I'm really painting a really dark picture of myself.
It's fantasy. Sometimes there's dark stuff in there, but it's not real. That's the point.
Yeah, okay.
It's like a safe space that everyone can listen to.
Good. I'm not going to ask any of my friends to listen to this.
You're all scared. You're like, if they hear this about the ex-girlfriend thing, they're never going to hire me.
Oh, dear.
It's freaking great.
I was talking about your ex-girlfriends.
Oh, thank you. I'm actually friends with both of them. I love them. It was nothing personal. It didn't work out. It didn't work out. Yeah. A couple of them are evil, but most of them are pretty decent humans.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Good to hear.
Yeah. And if you're listening to this, any of my ex-girlfriends, I'm not going to say any names, but I miss you, and I'm just saying hi. And,
I miss you too.
Yeah. No. My wife listens to this. I just listened to your last episode. What the hell?
Does she sound like that?
That's like a really embellished version of her.
Okay.
I make it fun.
So what would your embellished interpretation of me sound like?
A little bit like this. So I drink a lot of coffee. I'm so horrible at accents.
Oh my God.
I'm so bad. Oh.
It's better than some of my other mates' impressions of me. I'll give you that.
Okay. Thank you.
Nice.
Well, there you go.
Nice.
I can do that one. Nice. Buenos. Gracias, mi amigo. That's you saying thank you in character.
In Espanol.
To me, yeah.
Wicked.
Gracias, mi amigo.
Yeah.
You can say it like that, right? Let's hear it.
Gracias, mi amigo.
You said mis amigo. Gracias, mis amigo.
Misa. Misa Jar Jar Binks?
Misa Jar Jar. No, you, Sir Jar Jar Binks. That would be funny if someone cut the whole movie into that. Just him saying Misa Jar Jar Binks.
Yo, have you watched the Clone Wars?
Which one is that? Is it
like
the
animated
cartoon
series?
I've seen a little bit of it.
Yo, Jar Jar does... Shit goes down with Jar Jar in the Clone Wars, man.
Does it?
Yeah.
Have you watched Mandalorian?
I've seen the first 3 episodes.
I've seen like the first 5. I freaking love it.
I adore... I got Disney
Yoda?
Plus just for that.
Just to see Yoda.
Just to see Baby Yoda.
Which we think is Baby Yoda. They won't even tell us.
Yeah. Well, I'm only on episode 3. I just finished episode 3.
Well, in episode 5, they say... No, I'm just joking. I've been loving it. It's campy, which is difficult for me as a cynical adult to be like, come on! But I love the pacing.
Dude, it's a Western.
Dude, I love Westerns, and I love the pacing, because the movies are so fast that I feel like I feel rushed when I watch the movies. But this, you watch Mandalorian walk down an alleyway, you watch a robot move around a corner, or somebody's eyes scanning something, and you actually get to look as a viewer and see like the Star Wars universe
so cool.
for more than a split second.
So cool,
and it's so much fun to see that.
Man, they're making a season 2. I think season 2 is going to be out by the fall.
Just in time for Christmas and all of your mini Yoda needs.
Yeah, just before you cancel your Disney Plus subscription.
I don't think anybody's going to cancel it.
Yeah, no. Did you see all the Marvel stuff that's coming out?
Oh yeah, they're just going to keep going. Yeah, we're gonna plug ourselves into some sort of chair, like some Johnny Mnemonic Schlang chair, and just be like,
Mnemonic.
Disney.
Do you remember Johnny Mnemonic that had Udo Kier in that? And he gets sliced in bits.
Oh, yeah.
Like in a meat slicer thing with that.
It's the laser razor.
Udo Kier, I worked with him.
Yeah?
Yeah. What a character.
Can you do your impression, please?
Darling, I have not had my invoices paid. It's not... Oh, no, he still has a German accent a little bit. We can't really understand him. He's like... I'm actually taking the piss, but he's actually really, really kind and nice and friendly and very, very, very generous.
Thank you for saying that, because every time you do that, I'm like, he's not going to show anyone this episode. Michael's not going to share the episode because he's afraid that someone will hear it and be like, he made fun of me.
Yeah, exactly.
So you come back, you're like, I don't really like him.
Much tact, do
I love him. I have a lot of respect for the guy I just made fun of.
No, he's great.
I think people like it when you make fun of them, as long as they know you're being silly, because it's just fun to be thinking that someone's thinking of you. I love being.
I would like to think that. I would like to hope that people think like that, but I know that some people do not. Hence, my mouth has got me into trouble so much.
If you're listening to this and you're offended with us making fun of you, we were complimenting you by making it. You're being roasted.
Yeah,
I want to be made fun of. Just not by an enemy or someone I don't like, but if your friend makes fun of you, it's like, it's great.
Oh yeah, dude, I love that. I'm British. I love the sarcasm.
You're British?
Oh, I didn't tell you.
I thought you're from Portugal. With that,
I thought you were going to say Portland.
Portland? I thought you were from Portland. That would be funny if you're like, I actually am from Portland.
I'm dressed like that. I'm dressed like a hipster. You know, paint a picture of like, lumberjack shirt, hipster beards. I came in with my fixie bike. I've actually rolled up I have rolled up my pant legs. That's the only thing that's true.
With this weather, you'd be crazy not to. In fact, let's roll up our pants. You'd be nuts if you didn't.
God. Right, so where were we? I'm sorry, guys, waffled. We got waffles in the show kitchen for guests.
Is there honey, though?
No, maple syrup, dude, grade A.
I was just seeing if you were paying attention. Maple syrup, good answer.
Yeah.
And a bunch of butter.
And then, butter. But like Irish butter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, none of this other...
Why is Irish butter so good? Because of the grass that the cows eat there is just super rich in vitamins and...
Yeah, they feed booze to the cows.
Do they really?
No, I don't. I'm joking.
I'm so gullible.
What?
You're all Guinness. They pour Guinness.
No, it must be the environment for the grass. Yeah, it must be. But then it's dairy, so I don't believe Kerrygold we buy here.
Oh yeah, we buy
actually.
Oh, that'd be funny if it's not
imported.
It's just branded.
I think it's just branded because how do you import dairy products from Ireland to California?
Well, I could see if you couldn't import like milk from Ireland to California, but butter lasts forever, dude.
Does it?
Yeah.
That kind of fresh? I mean, that's Irish fresh.
Irish fresh. Actually, that's what I use for my soap. That's my Irish Spring. I use butter.
I thought you were going to say... Oh, nice.
Oh, I love it. Dude.
Nice little glaze.
That's right. You're all toweling off, and it's just like you're just wiping butter that's stuck to your body. Dude, I trust the Irish with their butter. After Thin Lizzy, I pretty much trust anything Ireland wants to put my way. I'm like, all right, you've got me. You've got a lot in the bank with Thin Lizzy. If you got butter, you got anything else you guys want?
Guinness.
If they start,
You like Guinness?
I love Guinness.
Yeah.
I love stouts of any kind. And I love like the foamy head on Guinness that looks like a Tempur-Pedic mattress and tastes like one too. Yeah. I love Guinness.
Tempur-Pedic mattress.
You're like, I don't know if that's the right way to sell it. The marketing team doesn't really like your whole taste like a Tempur-Pedic mattress. I'm like, come on.
Oh, man.
So Jon Shefsky, your weirdo
that's
realtor
really
here.
good. I like that.
Okay, so...
Anyway, sorry. So we've spoken way too much about the fantasy kitchen.
That's right. So let's
time
go,
to move on.
Let's
Next
pick...
scene.
Yeah, we have enough time to do like another couple rooms.
Great.
So let's pick your favorite, whatever it is. If it's your... I would love to go to a bathroom. I would love to go to some sort of bedroom. But you pick the next two rooms.
If we're going into a bathroom, and we're now going to enter Scandinavian territory. So I do love a very simple, clean design. Right?
Yeah. I love the way you said it.
We're going to have this beautifully lit. It's going to be stunning. Like large, protruding mirror from the wall.
Yep.
With like a nice light strip around it.
Very
pointing
modern.
down. Very modern. Yep. Very clean. Very Scando.
Yep.
Right?
Scando.
This is a oh no, that doesn't work.
Scando Calrissian from Star Wars.
Scando Calrissian. Marlon Scando. Oh dear.
We just purchased a Scandominium. Okay, that's all I got. Great HOA on that one.
Yeah, stick to what you know. So beautiful, right? Yeah, like large ceilings.
Yep.
To get all that steam from the shower, so it dissipates. And also we're going to have like anti-fog mirrors, which I really like. But you need to have some natural light coming in, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So we'll have like one of those old 80s style, like To Live and Die in LA, you know, those glass blocks that you used to make walls out of.
Yeah.
Right?
They're like glass cinder blocks.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And like put them up. Beautiful.
Totally.
Right? And then, now here's the thing. Here's the trick. And this is why it's the party bathroom. The shower is going to be a steam room.
Oh, love it.
Bro.
Love it.
Bro. And maybe another door to a sauna, which is all wood panelled and, you know, all that. You know, if we've got the budget, we might as well.
And you do.
Yeah, all right, we'll do that. Now, I met a guy who designed his own fantasy house here in Beechwood, in the Hill.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to name his name because he was a twat. And his bathroom was, he designed the whole thing himself, and it was kind of like, the guy had too much money and no sense, and he put a hot tub, like, you know, an actual outdoor hot tub, you know the ones.
A real jacuzzi.
A real freaking jacuzzi, like, you know, a good 4 foot high, with steps up to it. He put it in his bathroom.
And you're just like, what's up?
It just looks so out of place, man.
And what is he? Did he have such a Hitler personality that like his contractor, instead of being like, "Why don't we do this?" was just like, "Yes, sir, that's coming right up. Just write the check. I don't want to bother with you." Probably.
He was just like, "I want."
I've known some psycho rich dudes like that too, where you're just like, "Oh, you're so crazy that people won't be honest with you, and your craziness and your demand for perfection, but inability to communicate with consultants makes it so that you're not getting the best. You're not getting the best service when you go to your doctor because they're scared to tell you what you need. You're not getting your best interaction when you're having a home built, for example."
Oof.
So this guy did. He has a jacuzzi.
So yeah, and based on that,
you can have that. Though.
I'm going to do the same. My contractor's going to be like,
and that douchebag was me, folks.
Yeah, that's the twist.
Big reveal.
Yeah. Write that down. Anyway, so yeah, we're going to have a nice sort of bathroom. Great. Now, I also want to. I'm going to talk about we're going to bypass a couple of rooms.
Yeah.
Right.
We have time for like another room or two. So
okay, cool. Well, first of all, we're going to have a giant pool. It's got to have a pool.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
A little rock. Like the one in Grand Theft Auto Vice City.
Yeah.
When he gets the mansion. It's pretty much like the Scarface pool.
Yeah.
Exterior
totally. That
pool.
is the Scarface.
It is the Scarface mansion, isn't it? So we're going to have that.
Okay.
No doubt.
Okay.
But a good deep end. So,
you can really dive.
You can do some real diving. Some good diving.
That's your Americana impression of some real diving.
Diving.
Where are you from? Davenport.
Portland.
Portland.
Anyway, so we're going to have that, right? That's cool. I've got to have an office. Got to do my work, innit?
What kind of office has you do the most work and keep the least stressed?
Well, talking of Hitler.
Speaking of Hitler.
I heard about his HQ. I read about it, designed by Albert Speer, and it was next to the Tempelhof, and it was one of the longest buildings. I mean, it was destroyed, obviously, in Berlin, and the actual approach to his office was built on a very slight incline, right? And I don't know how long it was, but the corridor was super, super long, slight incline, and it was red marble flooring, and they would hire people to keep the floor polished constantly. So anytime someone would come and visit him in his office, they would be walking up this incline and getting exhausted and slipping on the floor all the way to his office. This is not even made up.
That was his plan, was to exhaust them?
Yeah, and it was deliberate as a form of intimidation. So by the time they reached his office, they would be physically exhausted in his presence. Right?
That is so interesting.
It's so mad. And also, he would have his desk raised so that the seat opposite him seats would be a lot lower. So literal, this is like Roman emperor shit.
So weird.
So we're going to have that.
So I'm going to have Hitler's office.
No.
That said.
Oh, God. Okay. God, no.
That's so
but I would like to have a nice office and put some like this, like beautiful film artwork up. That'd be nice. Yeah, that'd be cool. What else would I have? I've got to have a gym, bruv.
You got
to stay healthy.
Oh, yeah.
But we don't put the gym on the property. We put it so that I can get to it.
Just like the taco shop.
Just next to the taco shop.
Maybe you grab a taco and an espresso on the way to the gym. Is that?
Well, yeah. Or maybe on the way back.
On the way back. It's better work out
There has
faster.
to be an ice cream shop, too, for those cheat days.
Well, okay. Can that be the last spot we go to is the ice cream shop?
You want to go? Is that... Because what about the fantasy room?
Oh, okay. Let's go to that one first, and then
we'll do the fantasy room
real quick, and then we gotta go to the ice cream shop.
Right, so
because I want to have imaginary ice cream with you right now.
All right.
Okay.
Because I gave this some thought.
Okay.
Right. Okay. Your references, pretty good.
Okay.
I did give this some thought.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to hit the nostalgia button, and my fantasy room. You go in, and it's obviously an airlock, and we end up on the Nostromo. My fantasy room is the Nostromo from Alien.
Wow. Okay.
Right?
H.R. Geiger. He found his way.
A lot of weird corridors. Is
the Nostromo H.R. Geiger designed, or is the actual?
The alien is Giger's design.
And where the aliens live. Nostromo is at the what Ripley like?
Yeah, that's
their ship.
The mothership.
Okay.
And obviously, I've got to have a when they go and her and Dallas talk to Mother in that little computer room thing. That's my obviously game room.
Yeah.
Yeah, where I put the Nintendo and Xbox. Well, I don't like Xbox. Let's just say PlayStation, all right?
Okay.
PS5
that's
when
fine.
it's out.
That's fine.
With all the flashing lights.
Is it coming out? Is there
it's out this year, I think.
Oh, really?
This year. Well, so I heard.
4 has already blown me away with the graphics and
I can't get one right now because I'll never get any work done.
You're going.
Although saying
in your fantasy house, you got one.
Yes. I'm saying that in my house right now, we have a pinball machine.
Okay.
That's real.
Yeah. That's the sign.
So we'll put that in there.
That's a sign of a genius, by the way. Right?
Is it?
People that picked green cars and pinball machines in their house.
Do you have a green car?
I made that up. It's also the sign of being gullible is when I talk serious. People believe me. All right.
So yeah, we're on the because when I was younger, my dad used to take me to all these amazing film sets that would blow my mind.
Yeah.
And they would be enormous. And I would, as a kid, like run up, like for example, when I was very young, he took me on the Ewok village on Return of the Jedi, like. You know,
the real Ewok village?
Yeah, the real Ewok village. It was a set.
What?
Yeah, like, and Dagobah and everything. Well, Dagobah was a raised set because of the puppeteer under Frank Oz doing Yoda.
Yeah.
Yoda's not real. Sorry.
Just pouring out my 40. Just a little bit of my 40 getting poured out with my childhood there.
So, like, I would love those type of film sets. So, my fantasy room has to be nostalgic for my childhood. And I think that one of the films that influenced me the most was Alien. I think it's like, and it's not my favorite film of all time. That would be To Kill a Mockingbird, but it is the most visual, like wow, fantasy, sci-fi, horror, and lighting, amazing.
Oh yeah.
And so we would be on the Nostromo in my fantasy room, and there would have to be an airlock. So you have to, actually go through it. Yeah. Do you remember that when Dallas is going through the vents, the drainage, the air vents, and then they close down like that. That was Giger's design, actually.
Yeah,
the doors closing behind him like a
shutter, like a what do they call it? A shutter? Is it?
Yeah,
a shutter?
like an aperture shutter.
Aperture. Yes.
Yeah. So that's my fantasy room.
So cool.
Yeah.
Dude, that's such a rad fantasy house. Can we let's go to that ice cream shop real quick?
Right. So we're going to the ice cream shop.
That's where I'm...
and also, the house is made from Lego.
This whole Georgian house is made from Lego?
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
so rad.
Yeah. Just keep my nephew happy.
At the very end, you're like, and by the way...
the whole thing is made... Because that's sustainable, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's not. It's made of plastic. Oh.
But it's good quality plastics.
Well,
is that more sustainable?
Well, the thing is, my way of thinking with the Lego, right, is that I can keep building and changing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, like, obviously, if I let my nephew come over... Some rooms might be forced to change. I'd probably end up like the Nostromo would end up looking like I don't know.
Like your nephew could pull it apart and change stuff in it. You'd be like,
yeah,
what happened to this room?
Dude,
like,
this was the show kitchen.
If you're one of those kids that just uses a bunch of just random colors and builds something, you're like that wasn't supposed to be like that. Those were all gray over there. Why is there?
Okay, I'll let him do it because creepy butler dude has to fix it back.
And you want to make sure creepy butler dude is kept busy because if he has idle hands. There's going to be issues because he's crazy.
Yeah.
I hear you. Yeah. Very practical.
Yeah.
And very nice
of you. That keeps him busy. Yeah. So ice cream.
Ice cream. So what's this parlor look like? It's right outside your fantasy house, by the taco shop and the espresso shop and the gym.
Well, let's say, okay, so for the ice cream parlor, we're going to put it on a slight hill so that I have to burn some calories to get up there.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Hitler's there. So you get there like,
Hitler's ice cream.
I just got here.
This is like the most offensive podcast.
There's nothing offensive about making Hitler be. That seems like
but people
like
don't
a good
like
punishment.
the word Hitler, do they? Over here,
that upsets people if you say Hitler.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't subscribe to that. I'm like, sorry,
no, I don't either.
Sorry, guys, we said Hitler. I subscribe to the Mel Brooks method of the only way to deal with fascism is just to make fun of it for the silliness that it is.
I agree.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like if you give them too much power, if you're like, oh, it's too scary, you're like, nope.
Very, very true.
It's too silly. I have to make fun of it.
Okay, so ice cream. So I went to this place recently.
Yeah.
And it's in Los Feliz.
Yeah.
And it's like a Magic Emporium ice cream shop. And the guy who owns it is an actual magician in the magic circuit.
Really?
Yeah. And they make this nitro ice cream in front of your eyes. And they put nitric oxide in this bowl with like... For example, I'm a big fan of cookies and cream, bruv.
Yeah, of course.
Mate, classic.
Of course.
Of course. Why are we even...
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Of course. That's what I'll have it too.
I think I might...
I was going to say Earl Grey since, maybe make it a little English. But you know what? I'll have cookies and cream right now.
Earl Grey ice cream?
Oh, I love Earl Grey ice cream.
Is that a thing?
Oh, yeah. I've had it I've had it in Oakland. I've had it in Oakland and in Los Angeles. Two places that have very Portland ice cream selections.
I'm going to Google that.
Oh, yeah. If you like Earl Grey tea... then you will probably like Earl Grey ice cream.
I'm British. As soon as I was born, they were like, give him a cup of tea.
Yeah, that's...
Here you go, son. Stop crying.
Well, tea, when you mix tea, and Americans don't do this a lot. A lot of places don't do this a lot. But English people, I know my bubby, she was English. She always had her tea with cream.
Oh.
And so like a lot of people, like I don't think it's very normal in America to have tea with cream.
You get it with lemon. Like,
But
mate,
that's fine if you're sick or something like that. Have it with a bunch of lemon.
Yeah.
But dude, tea with cream is so good. So naturally to me, as soon as I started seeing tea ice cream as I got older, I was like, oh, like this is.
That's cool.
As we say in Georgia, fire dog. So yeah, I any kind of tea with creaminess, I'm just like, it's great for ice cream.
Okay, I'm going to try that as my second scoop. My first scoop's obviously cookies and cream.
Might as well. I'm doing 2 scoops at least.
We're doing 2 scoops.
If not 3 or 4.
So anyway, this is an actual magic, so that, like the theme. So let's say this ice cream. I'm going to take what I saw and just embellish on it, like most of my work. So take what I saw elsewhere and just embellish it, rip it off, and come up with an ending, innit?
That's the recipe for making movies, folks. Like, behind the scenes.
Anyway, so that's what we're going to do.
Okay.
And it's going to be this like cool, so it's actually like a magic shop. Like magic. And like magicians wear like in there with like the waistcoats and the top hats and stuff. And like they'll get a top hat and like put in the nitric oxide and the cookies and the milk and whatever the other ingredients are, tea, Earl Grey tea, and then just like spray that shit with the nitric oxide stuff. It's all a bit foggy, like, ooh, yeah, this is good. Wow, what's next? And he pulls out like a dead rabbit shaped ice cream.
Kids are like, you're like, no, it's just part. It's a joke. It's part of the humor of it. It's actually ice cream. It's not a rabbit.
It's the best way to desensitize my nephew to death,
the nature of realities, and kind of get through it. Like,
that's what my dad did. My dad was like, yeah, I'll show you some like all these movies. So he showed us horror films when we were young, and he's like, it's not real. Like the Nightmare on Elm Street, the Freddy films.
Oh my god, how old were you?
Oh my god, like 5.
5 and you saw this? Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm 39 and I can't, if I watch that stuff, I'm like, not going to sleep well for a few weeks.
Oh my god, yeah. Dad used to do that. Like we would watch it and be like mortified, and then he would take us to set and show us the prosthetics.
Oh, maybe that's actually probably.
I mean, obviously it was obviously a great privilege and amazing and everything like that. But that was the quickest way I learned that what was real and what wasn't.
Yeah, dude, that's a pretty gnarly way to learn that kind of stuff.
So we'll take my nephew and show him these dead rabbit shaped ice creams. With crosses on the eyes. So it's a bit cartoonish.
Like
just
whimsical and cartoony.
Yeah, just to give him and the two giant teeth sticking out.
That are delicious ice cream teeth, by the way.
Yeah.
Even the whiskers, delicious cookies and cream.
What would that be? Like coconut, maybe? Little bits of coconut to represent the teeth?
We were talking about Mighty Boosh earlier. 2 hard pegs of cream.
That's
from the first episode of Mighty Boosh.
And the magician is called Old Greg.
Oh, that's great. Hi there.
So I go to Old Greg's to get...
Old Greg's ice cream parlor. Hi there.
Hi there. I'm Old Greg.
Today's special. Bailey's ice cream.
Oh dear. So that's the ice cream parlor, and I think that's good because we've worked up. I mean, obviously, to support this property, I'm going to have friends over quite a lot. To keep this stuff.
Yeah.
Working.
Well, you know what they say about vanity houses: if you don't use it, you lose it.
Oh.
So you got to have people over to enjoy it.
Right.
I had a fantastic time, dude. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Dude, just the idea of eating that ice cream, even though it's shaped like a dead rabbit, hilarious. And dude, so rad. And to find out your twist at the end, like a true filmmaker, he's like, and by the way, whole house made of Legos. I'm like, what? Oh, so rad, dude. Thanks,
you. Man. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Sorry that my mind was a bit twisted.
No, that's great. That's what we want, man. That's what me and the listeners want. We want to be brought into different people's minds and have our minds expanded by, your thoughts and the things that you're excited about. So cool. Fantastic, dude. Cool. #blessed guest. Where can people find you? How do you want them to follow you so that they can keep up when you
good idea. Well, I do have an Instagram, and it's at Michael Daniel, MichaelDaniele. So it's Daniel with an E at the end. Now, you would think that's a girl's name, but it's not a girl's name. It's actually
not
Portuguese.
In England. In the UK, dude, you guys use names that we think are girls here. I have a cousin named Ashley, and he is a dude.
I've got loads of male friends called Ashley.
Yeah, in America, or like if you say Ashley, like, oh yeah, who's this chick we're talking about here?
I've got male friends called Kelly.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else?
A couple dudes named Uncle Stephanie.
Yeah. Shirley.
I'm just Shirley. Well, Shirley. Yeah. Shirley. Certainly. That's another great female name that they use in England. Dude. All right, dude. You guys, I'm going to tag him in Instagram so you guys can follow Michael from there as well. And if this is your first time listening, go ahead, hit the subscribe button and give us a 5-star rating. Maybe even leave us a review. I love reading those reviews. And if you're a regular listener, go ahead and hit the share button. I know you know somebody that would be stoked to hear this episode. Someone that loves old Greg, loves film, possibly even has worked on some of these films with Michael. How funny would that be? Small world, right? It happens.
Ooh, yeah. Get in touch.
That's right.
Be nice to hear from you. Maybe.
Lost relative, someone you owe money to from 30 years ago. No, all the nature of podcasting. You guys, thank you so much for tuning in. It has been amazing. Be silly and have fun. Oh, yeah. And by the way, guys, rates right now for money is so cheap to buy. It's insane. My lender just locked one of my clients in with a 3% flat. I'm not talking 3 point anything. I'm just talking a 3% loan for a 30-year fixed rate for their home. So even if you're not thinking about buying or selling and you just need to refinance, if you're in California, hit me up. I would love to hook you up with my resources. All right.